Thanks, Land Monkey. Welcome to Caching in the Northwest. You know, this is the official podcast of GeoWoodstock 18 right here in the great Pacific Northwest. It's Thursday night at 9 p.m. and I'm Chris of the Northwest, and we're here to talk about geocaches and geocachers from here and all around the world. So while you're thanking the Romans for indoor plumbing, we'll be caching in the Northwest.
That's right. And tonight we're talking about attributes. You know, trustworthiness, commitment. No. Live audience, we want to hear all about them from you. So share those thoughts with us if you would, please. We always love hearing from our live audience. I am Wits End. It's Thursday night at 9 p.m. As Chris mentioned, it's time to bring in, I don't know. Should we even bring him in tonight?
Or attributed ape?
Ooh, attributed ape. I could go with that. Some say he's a stone cold super freak. Others say he's free with proof of purchase. All we know is he's called Land Monkey.
Well, it might be free to get, but I'm not free to keep. You know how it is. It's like free puppies.
Yeah.
There's no such thing.
You know. Everybody loves a puppy.
Unattended. I saw a sign in the store that said unattended children will be given, ice cream and a free puppy or something like that?
Yeah. Yep, that seems effective. I'm sure it is. All right. Well, it is
proof of purchase.
Well, did you get your free Land Monkey?
We'll find out. It is Thursday evening. It is good to be here with my friends. We're gonna talk attributes, so I'm looking forward to digging into that topic a little bit with our live studio audience. But before we do that, of course, it's time for that quick reminder that we always appreciate the support of our patrons.
We absolutely do. And you know what I just realized? I didn't test my sharks, so let's see if they work tonight, because sometimes when I don't test them, they come in at Mach 48 here. Wait for it. Here they go. I hit the button and they haven't started. There you go. See, did you miss them? That's what happens when I don't test the sharks. So now I can stop and restart the sharks, and then we'll progress in the manner to which we're accustomed.
Well, it's funny you say that because it's funny you say that because I didn't check all my hardware before the show, and I've got to bring up my Sharks promo manually here. My little shortcuts aren't working. So, yeah, a little bit of technical difficulties to get things started.
It's like it's summertime here and we're out of sync. But let's get back.
This isn't the podcast you're looking for.
It may not be, but
untested sharks brought to you live.
That's right. Untested sharks are brought to you thanks to Land Sharks, one of our corporate Denali level sponsors. Land Sharks are at their new location. Be sure to go there and check them out and say hi for us. Hey, you know what? We also have another corporate Denali level sponsor, and that is Gold Country Geotourism. I remind you to start planning for when travel. Well, travel is open, but plan your travel on your way up there. Remember, they are still open. You can still visit Gold Country, but just know before you go, please be careful of various things going on up there, and see which communities are available for you to enjoy. And so, the know before you go is the key message there. All right. Yep. I think that's what I've got for our sponsors.
Travel is open, but not for us yet down here south of the.
Not quite yet for you guys.
No, we're hoping very soon.
There we go. I thought you went to outer space there.
Second, right, is when the current ban may be lifted.
May is the operative word there,
right?
Because
is when the current ban is over. Will there be a new?
Yeah.
So, I'm hoping I've got a finger crossed. I've crossed all my hairs, crossed all the wires.
Yeah. Did you cross the streams?
Don't cross the streams.
No. Okay. Maybe that's what's wrong with Land Monkey. He crossed all the wires. But folks, it's time. Even if the border isn't open, we can still communicate through the glory of the internet. And some of the glorious things I want you to tell me about are the glorious logs of the week, or the glow.
Is that what the G stands for now?
Yeah, I went there this week. Whether you read it or whether you wrote it, we want to hear about it because great logs simply make geocaching better. You can send an email or a recording to feedback@cachingandw.com. You can always call into 253-693-TFTC and show us how you glow.
And do call that number, which is 253-693-TFTC, because, we want to hear it in your voice. Frankly, I'm tired of hearing it in my voice, and I think you probably are too. But this week, you're going to hear it in my voice because we got a glow from Just Finding Our Way, who found Western Diamondback.
I hope you didn't actually find a Western Diamondback.
I was going to say, that's a snake, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not something I want to find on the trail.
That would be a bad day.
Yeah, that would be a bad day. Well, you could find it. Never mind. This is from GC8 Mike X-Ray Charlie Golf. I think that's what it is. And let's see if I can trigger that. And the log says, I've driven past this corner for 30 years and never bothered to wander back and see what's here. So thanks for encouraging our exploration. The Silver Subi is almost ready for post-overhaul field tests, but today RJ McDonough 1 was driving his fancy chariot, so we parked midway where we could get Dylan 004 as well as this one. It was a 3-layer morning, which turned out to be helpful, I think. We really struggled with coordinates on this one. I'd goofed and left my GPS at home, so I was stuck with my phone, which I don't really trust. But Bob's Garmin and my phone clearly had a difference of opinions on this one. We weren't having any luck with where the Garmin was bouncing around, so the phone won out. In my opinion, the terrain rating is correct, and I'm happy, and perhaps insane, to note that I did a regan on the return. If you're not sure what a regan is, read Team Evil Fish's log from November. Now, on the journey back to the car, I slipped once, flat on my back. Then again, trying to get back up, and yep, that hurt. It still does on my wrist, which drew blood. I've got to give this one a favorite just because it was the worst tumble I've ever taken while geocaching, but it was after I added a new ink to the log. No bones, no bruises, I think. A 2-roll tumble and another cache in the books. Thanks, Desert Ghost 13, for the fun.
Well, if they're still considering it fun,
yeah,
it wasn't that bad of a fall.
It wow. Didn't hurt long enough or hard enough or extremely enough to prevent them from filling out a log. So
there you go.
That's positive.
That's right. All right. Well, Just Finding Our Way. Thank you for sharing that excellent story. And that is a glow-worthy log for sure.
Yeah. I wonder if that cache had any significant attributes that might have helped them on the search.
Well,
planning before they went in.
Attributes.
What are attributes?
Hashtag attributes.
Tonight they're a hashtag. You could use hashtag attributes in the chat to add to tonight's show. We don't even care how you spell it. Well, actually we do because it's easier to search if you use it right. Or there is always that hashtag FTAS to bring up a topic in the after show.
Can I do it?
You can bring it up in.
Come on.
The after show. Oh, you didn't test that button either, did you?
No. That's the audio.
I'm not testing things.
Oh, yes.
This is what happens when your hosts are working too hard.
Yeah, we all worked late tonight and just rolled into the podcast shacks at the last minute. So here we are.
That's right. You're going to get what you get tonight, folks.
And we're glad to be here. And it's my on-call week, so if this thing rings, I'll check out for a moment.
All right. All right. Well, we've already getting a little bit of feedback about attributes, which is awesome. I appreciate that. We got a little bit of news though. I've got a little search and rescue news that sort of came hot off the presses, thanks to our chat lackey. And Chris, I think you've got some HQ news to get to after that.
Yeah,
right?
we've got a lot of news tonight. It's newsworthy.
More than last week, anyways.
Right, 100% more news tonight.
All right. Well, I am delighted to share a good news search and rescue story. This is pretty spectacular, just as to what happened, but and we're still waiting on full details. So the story's a little scant on details because we're still waiting to hear more. But up in the Squamish area of British Columbia here, just a little bit north of Vancouver, a hiker had been lost for 14 days. The hiker left July 7th. On July 9th, had not returned as per their trip plan.
Trip plan.
And a search was activated. The hiker was found today, July 22nd.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yes. By the Squamish detachment of the BC Forest Fire Team. So that is pretty amazing. Squamish Search and Rescue and the 100+ BC Search and Rescue volunteers from that area who had all been providing mutual aid and support during the search. Thank everybody involved.
Mm-hmm.
The RCMP say that the overdue hiker was found in Garibaldi Provincial Park, which makes sense if you know the area as to where they were. They were dropped off at Elfin Lakes Trailhead July 7th, reported missing July 9th. And Coastal Fire, who were responding by helicopter to a report of fire, located the missing hiker. Police have since connected the hiker with his family. This reads an RCMP news release. So this is, as the story says, an extremely good ending to the story.
Yeah.
It is not often that we get the news stories, particularly with a hiker lost that long, where we get this kind of a positive ending.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, often when it's more than a few days, it becomes, a recovery instead of a rescue, and that's really hard.
absolutely.
But
yeah. And Trexer,
go ahead.
sorry, I was just going to say, Trexer in the chat says exactly the right thing here. Wow, right weather to be lost for that long.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, the weather made a big difference on that. And what else made a big difference is you mentioned they had left a trip plan. So while it may have taken several days to find them, it says here that they were reported missing just 2 days after they left because they had left a trip plan, right? Did I hear that correctly?
Mm-hmm.
So
use that trip plan. Make sure you have the 3 T's,
yeah.
right?
Yep.
Tacos,
Tuna.
tortillas. Oh, tuna. Yeah. No,
And
that's not it.
taquitos. No, that is training. That is trip plan. And that is the essentials.
There you go.
You got it.
Yeah, because obviously we can't, hindsight's 2020, but I think if they hadn't left that trip plan, they may not have been found in time.
No, absolutely. And Keats corrected us on the third T.
Oh, sorry.
How did I miss that?
Yeah. Tacos, tuna, and tequila.
Okay.
And tubas.
And
if you
tubas.
had the tuba, he could probably have been found
Yeah.
quicker.
Twizzlers?
Twizzlers.
Twizzlers, yeah.
Drinking the water. And trombones. Okay, now we're getting off track.
Okay.
It was the trombones. That was just one too much.
Yes. And
Yeah.
if you follow this advice, you probably won't be around to listen to many more episodes. So go back to the real 3 T's and follow
Could
that.
you use the tuba, though, as shelter as well?
You probably
you-
could.
If it's
But
large enough,
if you're
yeah.
carrying a tuba, you're probably not going to get as far down the trail anyways.
This is true.
Oh, yeah. Have some sort of, we talk about the essentials all the time, but have some sort of signaling device, a mirror, a whistle. These things are
A
simple,
tuba.
easy, a tuba or a trombone. Yes. Next time, let's do it just as Land Monkey's drinking. See if we can get beer to come out of his nose.
That was pretty close.
Oh, but hey, we can laugh and joke because this story ended well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we would be much more somber and respectful if it didn't end well. So,
Well, we'd be much more somber. I don't think we're ever respectful, but
that's probably true. Good call. But
to be
folks,
honest about it.
you know, we love geocaching, we love the outdoors, but you know what? Nature wants to kill you.
Yes, and there's a
Pretty
whole
much what it
YouTube
does. I think
series
it's
about that.
equilibrium.
And to abbreviate, Wetcoaster says 3 T's are tic-tac-toe.
Oh, there you go.
So,
All right.
Hey, folks, there is a new challenge from Geocaching HQ. You can go to their blog and find out more. The new leaderboard challenge, Reach the Peak. Inspired by the mountaineering challenge of reaching the summits of the tallest mountains on all 7 continents, we're inviting you on a challenge to reach new heights in geocaching. Over 7 months, geocachers will have the chance to earn up to 2 souvenirs each month. Players who earn all 14 souvenirs will earn an additional meta souvenir, 1 souvenir to rule them all, for completing each month of this challenge.
So I am really hoping that in order to earn the souvenir, you have to actually accumulate the altitude on each of your caches that you find to earn the souvenir. So it's like your combined altitude that you hike,
which makes us up here in this portion of the country very easy to do. And those in Florida are going to have a challenge finding caches on the beaches at 0.
hey,
right?
But if you're in Texas, you can pass the Carmen line in under 11 minutes. So at least I've heard that.
I don't know what the Carmen line is, but you could do the I've forgotten it. The Kessel Run in under 12 parsecs.
That's right. Yes.
Sorry, I can't believe I forgot that line. Okay. The challenge begins with our first mountain, Puncak Jaya. It's the highest peak on the continent of Oceania. Starting August 2nd, so just a couple of weeks away, find geocaches and adventures to earn up to 2 souvenirs. The Puncak Jaya Base Camp and the Puncak Jaya Summit souvenirs.
Okay. And by the way, that is my sister's birthday on August 2nd.
Good.
I thought you were going to say it's your sister's name.
You should all reach out to her on August 2nd and wish her happy birthday.
And for anybody who's listening who actually knows how to pronounce that, please call in to 293-693-TFTC and tell us how to pronounce this.
Puncak Jaya. Yeah, I'm sure I've butchered it.
Pancake jambalaya? Pancake jambalaya.
Pancake Java. That's like breakfast.
Pancake
pancakes,
Java. That's what
Java.
it is.
I'm set.
It's breakfast. Pancakes and Java. Okay. Now we got it figured out.
All right. So how do we participate in this crazy thing? Did you already cover all that?
No, because I read your portion.
That's okay.
Eat pancakes and drink Java. That's how you participate.
Tell us all about that. Because Keats94 says, you mean I have to climb Everest now?
Not yet. It's a couple of months away.
Oh, okay. But if anybody in our chat could do it, it's probably Keats.
You could probably jog up there and back.
Yeah. He and Land Monkey.
There you go. Just Finding Our Way suggests that it's pronounced Puncak Jaya.
Huh.
Could be.
It could.
I'm
going with it.
I'm going to assume anybody knows more than we do when it comes to how to pronounce that.
Yeah. It really wouldn't take much to know more than me as far as these go.
All right. So, how do you participate, Chris?
Oh, am I going to read on? Okay. From August 2nd at noon, UTC, through March 6th, 2022, by collecting points and logging geocaches and adventure locations, earn up to 2 souvenirs each month of the challenge by collecting enough points to reach the summit of each month's mountain. Can I join the challenge at any time? Yes,
No.
Of course you can.
Well, you're a lot nicer than I am.
Be careful, though, when you take something to drink and you look up and Land Monkey goes, because, that doesn't go well.
The challenge is ongoing from August 2nd at noon UTC through March 6th, 2022.
That's a generous
Cashers who
window.
join the challenge later will only be able to earn souvenirs for the specific months when their finds are logged.
Okay, well, can I still earn the Peak Performer Meta Souvenir if I start after August?
Land Monkey says no.
Okay, well, we're done. Good night. Thanks for joining us.
To earn the Peak Performer Meta Souvenir, you must earn the 2 available souvenirs each month of the challenge. It's not possible to complete past month's challenges. So if you want to earn the Peak Performer Souvenir, you have to start with the August challenge.
Ha.
So are you saying Land Monkey was right?
So A, I'm right, and B,
Land Monkey, take your headphones off for a minute.
So the answer to the question, can I still earn the Peak Performer Meta Souvenir if I start after August? The answer is no, you're screwed.
Exactly.
Okay. Don't tell Land Monkey he was right. It'll go to his head.
That's why I wanted him to. Here, hold on.
Okay.
Let's see.
Take my headphones off.
Okay. Land Monkey was right. Wait, how do you know how to put them back on yet? We didn't say anything.
I gave him this.
Stop moving.
I gave him the sign to steal third. Oh, wait. No, that was different. So, like any challenge, I assume there are points involved?
Oh, it wouldn't be a challenge without points.
That's right.
Dude, there's a lot of rules to this.
How do we earn these points? Land Monkey, tell us all about the points, because I think you're the only one that's probably going to earn all of them.
Points. I like points.
It's a sharp point on my head right there.
Each month is going to have different point values for different types of finds. So they're gonna change it up every month on us, folks. And they will share the new set of values on the last Tuesday of every month before the leaderboard refreshes and resets to 0 on the first Monday of each month during the challenge. Did you follow?
Does that
very simple?
Does that coincide at all to Patch Tuesday? Because that affects the three of us quite often. But
yes, unless Patch Tuesday has a day 0 exploit.
Oh, and it's an odd-numbered Patch Tuesday in even-numbered month when the moon is full.
Can you
pull up Cache waxing gibbon phase?
Chris, can you pull up Cache Canada's comment? I think this summarizes it best for all of us. We will just geocache as per normal and probably achieve each souvenir, although we'll check to make sure. You know what? That is the best possible advice for how to do any of these challenges.
That's pretty much what I did with the Science of Discovery, or was it the other one that was going on?
The
Natural Wonders. The
Wonders. Yeah, the Wonders of the World.
I got 80, 90% of the way through, and then I looked at I need 3 more. Let me go see where I can find those. But for the bulk of it, I just cached as normal.
All right. Well, for the first month of the challenge, you will need 325 points to earn the Pancake Java Base Camp souvenir and 4,884 points to earn the Pancake Java Summit souvenir. So obviously these are related to elevations, I would assume.
Guess what the height in meters is of the Punshak Jaya Summit?
Do I need to divide anything by 3?
You could, but it's already...
I'm guessing it's 0x1314 in hexadecimal.
And that's the points you need. Okay. The point values for the first month of the challenge have been released to us all. So again, remember, these will change every month.
So that means we have news for every month now.
That's right. But basically, the bottom line is, in order to earn the base camp souvenir, you just need to find a cache of any type. So found it on any type of cache is it's Komikino, carry the 0. Found it on any type of cache is your 325 points that you need to just get started and get your first souvenir. If you find an adventure location, that's 350 points. If you find an earth cache, that's 450 points. And I think it should be more than pretty much everything else.
You get 7 months to work this out. You might get more points later.
You might.
Yep. A mystery, finding a find on a mystery is 500 points.
Shouldn't it be a random mystery number of points? Just
somewhere between 1 and 500.
Just saying.
I think Chris is right. I think it is somewhere between 1 and 500.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, it might be closer to 500. And a multi is the highest point value in the first month, and that is 600 points.
And I think that's because, just by seat of the pants straw poll here, I think most people skip the multis. When you're out caching and you go, I've got just a short amount of time here, and you filter down, you go, multi? Yeah, not today. I personally like multis, but I think I'm in the minority in that group.
I think the adventures have kind of weeded out the multis.
Yeah.
Right? An adventure is a multi-step, 5 to 10, right? And I think people are doing that and go, I can get 5 cache finds for an adventure. And 1 for a multi.
I got to say that multis weren't always my favorite. Clearly not Cache Canada's favorite.
Apparently, yeah.
But they weren't always my favorite. But
well, that's easy.
Thanks, White Coaster. But we're currently working on a challenge that has to do with multis. So we've been going out and intentionally finding them. And
hold off until next month.
Yeah.
No, I can't. That would defeat the purpose of the challenge we're trying to do. But
you just start over.
But there's plenty around, and I gotta say, most of them I'm enjoying them more than I thought I would. But like any other type of geocache, there's varying levels of quality and enjoyment.
Yes.
Multis are the best, says Jim B.
White
Coaster says multis need planning, just like Earth caches.
Exactly.
And Komakino says you should call 867-5309.
Yeah, ask for Jenny.
All right. And so, what are the souvenirs?
Cache Canada, I guessed a 32-stage multi in Central Park was the best.
Okay,
That's awesome.
I like multis. I'll go on record as saying that. 32 stages? That's a bit much, even for me.
That's commitment. That's a whole day.
So the souvenirs that you can earn.
Yes. Tell us about those.
As we said, Pancake Java is the first one. And basically for each month that this runs, there's going to be a base camp, which will very likely be your minimum number of points. And then there's a summit, which will be your goal for that month.
Number of points.
And there'll be Pancake Java, then the next month will be Vinson, then the next month will be Elbrus, then Kilimanjaro, Denali, and
a good name,
Aconcagua, and then the last one is Everest, at which point you can, as long as you started in August, you can earn your Peak Performer Meta badge. It's all very meta.
So, are you ready?
Yeah.
This is a really long description for this one.
This is a lot of information.
Right? From Monday, August 2nd to March 6th, find geocaches and adventures and collect points on the geocaching leaderboard to earn these souvenirs. Each month features 1 of 7 mountains, and geocachers can earn up to 2 souvenirs each, a base camp souvenir and a summit souvenir. Points required to earn the summit souvenir each month will correspond to the height of that month's mountain. I'm going to say it. For example, Pancake Java is 4,884 meters tall, so cachers must reach the height of 4,884 points to earn the Pancake Java Summit souvenir. The leaderboard will refresh with a new mountain and goal on the first Monday of each month and will reset to 0 points.
After the patch Tuesday that doesn't have a full moon.
That's right.
Each month, the leaderboard will have different point values for different types of finds. Geocachers who on all 14 souvenirs will earn the additional meta souvenir. So you can do it through, as we said, geocaches, adventures, and that's really it. Right?
Yes, different types of geocaches will have different point values each month.
So the adventures will get you this month 350 points per location. So that could be you could get 5-10 stops out of that, right?
Yeah, people could really drive. This would really drive people to go do adventures.
Yep. or earth caches.
Right. Well, I assume each month, I'm thinking the point values may change as the mountains get higher, right?
Yeah.
So this month is not going, I don't think is going to be, you're going to have to find half the caches you find for Everest, which is over 8,000 meters. So, I think the point values will make it so you find approximately the same number of caches.
Okay.
That seems very reasonable.
That's
Very
my
logical.
guess. And of
All
course, they're going to push a type a month.
Yeah, and it's kind of
Are
fun
there
that they're doing
7
that with
types?
to coordinate or to correlate to
Mhm.
altitudes of peaks. And by the way, I know I'm probably the only one that has never heard of Pancake Java. Everybody else is probably just, oh yeah, went there last Thursday for holiday. But I looked it up. Wikipedia says Puncak Jaya is Indonesian. It means literally glorious peak.
It's so glorious.
Karstens Pyramid. It's the highest mountain in Indonesia on the island of New Guinea with an elevation of 4,884 meters.
I was just, yes.
What a coincidence. That's how
I
many
know.
points you need.
It's 16,024 feet, so be glad they're using meters.
Cache Canada says, I'm so confused.
Join the
You know
club.
what?
Then we've done our job.
Go out caching like normal, and I bet you'll hit it.
Probably so, yeah.
Exactly. It's fun. Good stuff. All right. Well, shall we switch gears and talk a little bit about attributes?
No, I think we should finish these mountain, the rest of the specifications needed to claim these souvenirs for the mountain.
We are now
Because-
going to
because there's
describe
more
every
rules?
peak in intimate detail with, yes, no, we're not.
There was enough rules.
I think that was enough rules. All right.
Let's jump into the topic of the evening, which is hashtag attributes.
There you go. Well, and you know what? If you want to earn your points to scale your mountains, it might be handy to check the hashtag attributes on the caches that you want to try and find, so that you know. I mean, well, I guess this is the thing, right? Like, what are attributes? Maybe we should just make sure we're all talking about the same thing. What are attributes for? What are they? Where do you find them?
What are they good for? Huh.
Does anybody really
Absolute-
know what time it is?
It's attribute time.
Oh, yeah. So for those of you watching on video, here's a list of the geocaching attributes.
how
Did
many
you
are there?
know they
There
were divided
are-
into groups?
Fewer than 4,884, but
right.
more than 10.
There
And they're
are-
grouped into permissions, equipment, conditions, hazards, and facilities, and also some special ones at the end that don't fit any of the other categories. So there you go.
there you
If
go.
you're listening, you'd have to go check them out. You can Google geocaching attributes, and you'll find this page that I just found.
Nice. Yep, that is a very handy reference page, and I think not too
Or
long
you
ago they
could
just
have waited
added it.
to my section, and there was a link there in the show notes to lead to that page.
Oh,
And
there
I
you
was
go.
going to talk about the categories, but that's okay. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I already talked about it, so talk about something else now. Go ahead.
My question is, do
Yeah.
we as geocachers, the community, not just the hosts, do we as a geocaching community really look at attributes? I may look at them on a web page, but I never look at them when I'm on a phone. Right? They don't pop up easily on a phone.
I don't.
That's true.
I don't start by looking at them, but
Right.
it like the old it depends. So if I'm planning a trip, and I think this is to your point about looking on the web page, when I'm planning a trip and I'm looking at where I'm going to go, I definitely look at the attributes, and that's usually on the web page. But once I'm out in the field,
Yeah, I was just going to put
West
that one up.
Coaster says attributes just clutter up the cache listing that nobody reads.
nobody reads it anyways. Once I'm out in the field, if so I'll work off of the obviously the coordinates, the size, the usually the name, because often the name will give you a bit of a hint. Then usually use the hint, And if none of that is helping me, then I will go to attributes and the description to see if I can get a little more information and previous logs, of course. So there you go.
We're starting to get people in the chat talking. Jim says, I load one GPS with just 24/7 attributes when we're driving back from long day trips.
Interesting.
That's a nice tip.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea.
CRS 98 says they are both positive included and negative excluded. This is important.
That's true.
Yes.
Out of
Three Ham says, I check for private residence if uncertain.
Yeah, I should just typically filter private residence and never look for them because I feel awkward and uncomfortable looking for caches on private residence property.
I feel like that's its own show. Just the whole discussion about finding caches.
Join us another time when we talk about that.
For sure. But yeah, I mean, attributes have, so yeah, Jim, you showed us a list. There's like 70 positive attributes, 41 negative ones. And thank you very much to CRS98 for explaining the difference there between positive and negative ones.
Yeah, they almost need, as Cache Canada says, owners need a training course on how and when to use them. Because they can be a little confusing, honestly.
Exactly. And you should be using them with all your cache hides, right? Wet Coaster says people need to use not recommended for tourists more often. It's my least found attribute. We'll get into that in just a little bit. But did you know when you're looking, geocaching.com just recently, not just recently, but recently updated the search, and you can now search for attributes.
Yes.
Of certain cache type, of certain caches. You can select up to 10 attributes on geocaching.com to search, or as many as you like on the geocaching app. I thought that was interesting.
That is interesting.
It actually has more functionality in that spot than the website.
Oh, that may be the only time that the app is more useful.
I was confused for a moment when I saw what you had written in the show notes, and you said you may select up to 10 attributes. I didn't realize that was in the context of searching.
Right.
So when you're placing it, I know there's a limit to how many attributes you can place on the page when you are creating a cache. I don't know what that number is, so I'm kind of curious if anybody knows.
I don't know, but maybe somebody in the chat could find the cache with the most attributes.
Ooh.
Just throwing that out there.
There you go.
So premium members can use pocket queries to search for caches with particular attributes.
Yeah.
Right. And of course, recently they just added just finding our way says the app is useful. Just recently they added 4 new attributes, right? So now there are a total of 70 to help you refine your premium search from dogs allowed to recommended for kids. Maybe dogs are recommended for kids there. Boat required takes less than an hour. So you can use the ones that matter to you. And, those might be helpful when you're traveling, when you're going to be out with the kids. Yeah. You're going to be walking the dog, right? So
they introduced an attribute for power trails, which is great because now people don't need to use scuba cache to define a power trail.
Tell us more about that. That was a thing? That's news to me.
Yeah.
Okay. So the ET highway was the big culprit there. The ET highway. Now, along the ET highway, I believe there are some other caches, right, that may have been there before the power trail hit. So the cache owners of the ET highway power trail decided to use the scuba attribute. So you can filter out just the ET highway. You either filter out or filter in.
Interesting.
Right.
The things I don't know when I don't do power trails.
Yeah. Because, if you're in the area, let's say you happen to live in the Roswell area and you want to go caching, but you don't want to do the power trail. I'm sure there might be some other caches around, but you could exclude them from your queries.
Okay.
So if you're a premium member, you can exclude those from your queries.
Well, la-di-da.
Yeah. Where is it? Oh, just finding our way says 16 was the limit. He doesn't know if it still is.
Okay. To place on your cache page when you're creating
as a CEO. Okay.
Thanks. Just finding our way. Very helpful.
IHAM says attributes ought to be not recommended for newbies. In mine, there ought to be a not recommended for newbies in my not so humble opinion.
That would be useful.
So
okay.
I was going to ask that later on, and I want you guys to start thinking about it. Should these attributes be updated?
Well, they have been updated recently, but
I know.
Are there attributes that are missing, I guess is what you're asking.
Or are you saying as a cache owner, should you go back and update your cache listing with new attributes? Or maybe it's both.
Yes. No, should the whole list of attributes be updated and revised? So that's something we'll talk about, but not yet.
I liked Chris's answer to you there, Jim. It was yes, no.
Yes. I'm used to that.
Maybe. I don't know. Can you repeat the question?
I've known Chris a long time. I'm kind of used to that.
It's the yes, I'm acknowledging you. The answer is no.
I'm also used to that.
I'm used to it as well. But
he uses me that way. Hey, you go answer them. You go tell them no. No.
It's almost like it was a good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, I know. I'm wondering how he got his old caching name.
Just saying, not saying. Now, with the attribute search, you can only look for attributes in their positive state. Does that make sense? You can only look for those that are included, not the negative attributes.
So if you're doing a search.
Based
on attributes.
Right. You can only look for the 70 positive attributes. If you use a pocket query, you can look for the 70 positive and the 41 negative.
I'm trying to think if there's a scenario where that would be a complete PETA to not be able to search for an attribute in its negative state. Attributes I use when I place caches, because where I live, you're not allowed to cache at night in our parks. I often use the negative 24-hour.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
To say this is not available 24 hours. So I don't know if not being able to search for that would really actually be a pain in the butt or not. I guess it probably wouldn't.
I mean, if you're, say, in the desert there in Roswell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you have all your caches, no tree climbing required?
But
right?
I don't think you can set that one to a negative, but I get your point.
Yeah. They're not wireless beacons.
Oh, okay.
Right. May require cross-country skis or a snowmobile. Probably not in the desert.
Well, that's a big assumption.
Yeah, it is. I make big assumptions. That's what I do. Assumptions. So you can include positive, you can exclude negative, or vice versa.
All right. So give us a scenario, Chris, where searching by attributes would actually be a handy thing.
Well, I don't have to give you one because one was already given to us by Jim that said he used, not you, Jim, the other Jim.
Okay.
So confusing.
I saw you.
Huh?
What? Oh, I should pay attention. They're using my name.
It's like when they call your name in high school and you go, what?
Yeah. I've worked with them a long time. I know about this. It's amazing. You're in a crowd, you hear your name, you look over and you know it's nobody you're with, but you still look. The 24/7 attribute is useful when you're out and about after dark, right? Then I can go find this.
Okay. So searching for the positive on that one. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Any thoughts on that, Jim? Nope. Okay.
Not at all.
Now, I wanted to tell you about the categories. I didn't realize they were broken into categories. I just assumed it was, we've come across thorns, so let's add that one. Oh, you know what? This one needs a boat. Let's just go ahead and add that. I just figured that I just figured.
What if you're on a boat?
Hey, what's the matter for you?
Hey, yeah.
Let me tell you.
There they are again, just
Thank
for
you.
your benefit.
I figured they just grew naturally over time, organically. Oh, we should add this. Oh, we should add that. But you have permissions like dogs, motorcycles, bicycles, quads, off-road vehicles, snowmobiles, horses, campfires, and trucks and RVs. You have equipment like parking access fee, climbing gear, boat, scuba, flashlight, UV light, snowshoes, cross-country skis, special tools, wireless beacon, or tree climbing. I could go on.
You could.
But you get the idea.
So it's interesting, though, that so hazards, whether those hazards are present or not present, so that would mean hazards are ones that you can have positive and negative. But can you scroll up again, Jim? So there's hazards. If you scroll back, but there's also permissions. So, okay, interesting. Yeah, like you, Chris, I didn't realize they were grouped like this. And so, yeah, that's pretty cool.
So again, we'll go through them. Permissions, you have permission to bring these things or use these things. Equipment needed. Okay, I added needed equipment. Conditions. Safe for kids, may require wading, may require swimming, available 24/7, available in winter. You have hazards like poisonous plants, dangerous animals, ticks, thorns. You have facilities, wheelchair accessible, parking, public transportation, public restrooms nearby.
Those that's a good one.
Right?
Yeah.
Telephone nearby. Does that one ever get used?
Probably not so much.
When's the last time you saw a public telephone?
Yeah, exactly. Hawaii. There was a public telephone at the beach. The cell phone signal was terrible there.
Oh, I saw some on Whidbey Island recently too, but
probably the same reason, right?
Could be
bad cell phone service.
Yeah.
And then the specials are the Lost and Found Tour, Partnership Cache, Geo Tour, and geocaching.com solution checker.
Oh, that's a good one. I found it interesting that in the hazards, they specifically spell out ticks, but I think they should spell out wasps or yellow jackets too.
Yeah.
Because that's a hazard I've run into caching.
Well,
what about ants?
But I mean, so that one's interesting because, I mean, ticks, and you're right. It's interesting that they call out specifically ticks because, I mean, ticks are seasonal. But would it not be like an area would perhaps have ticks? So like you said yellow jackets, but that means that's assuming there's a nest nearby.
Right.
Yeah.
But that could change over time.
It could. That's true.
Well, if you look at above it, you have poisonous plants.
Yeah.
So that could be poison ivy, poison oak, poison sumac. And I'm sure there's some other poisons that I don't know. Right. So that's a group. Dangerous animals.
Poison is a group. Yes, it is.
Yes.
Right. That's a group of plants. They have dangerous animals, which shows a snake. I'm sure if it's in the middle of a herd of buffalo, that's considered a dangerous animal area, right?
Yeah.
Why don't they have dangerous insects, but they just have ticks?
Ticks. Yeah. They don't mention. They don't even mention mosquitoes near waterfalls.
That's right. Ticks carry life-altering diseases. They're much more deadly. Ticks can cause horrific illness unless you're allergic. Wasps are painful but not deadly.
These are all good points. Thanks for the chat.
My customer says found a wasp nest near a cache in Central Park, Burnaby, last Thursday. Yes, I found a wasp nest reaching into a guardrail cache. And got stung and decided that's it. I'm done for the day.
Yeah.
I was angry. I was angry that day, my friends. Like an old man trying to send back soup at a deli.
That's right. That takes it to like difficulty 7.
Yeah. So, how about drones? Allowed or not allowed?
There's one that could change with time.
So, I mean, that's nice to know if you like filming your adventures and such, but it really has nothing to do with finding the geocache. Right. Unless it's a reviewer.
Our Tacoma parks, I think, have almost all now said no drones.
Yeah. BC provincial parks are no drones. And then every community, every city has its own particular rules.
Yeah.
So
but anyways,
I like to exchange dangerous insects. Just me. Black widow spiders, right? They're quite dangerous.
Yep.
So don't put a cache there, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
right. But that's the dangerous animals attribute, right? So okay. So yeah, I can see. I get it. I was kind of curious why they singled out ticks, but the more
that seemed unusual to me, but
I'm kind of getting where we're going. But anyways, so again, you were talking about searching for caches by attributes, and there are a number of challenge caches where the challenge for logging the challenge cache is related to finding cache, having a collection of found caches that match certain attributes, certain quantities of attributes. Do you have all, what's the number now? Do you have all 70 positive attributes, things like that? But Chris, you found a few. Of course, Project GC is going to be your best friend.
boy,
oh
there
yeah,
were so many project checkers there. I grabbed just a few that I thought, oh, that's kind of interesting.
What did you find?
So there's one for a dog lover, right? You have gold, silver, and bronze, depending on how many. So for the dog lover, you have to have 800 dog attributes.
wow, that's a lot.
Right? Then you can go get that.
So 800 caches that have the dog attribute. Okay.
Exactly. The chirp challenge, right? So we all know about the Garmin chirps.
Yep.
This one's just 10 wireless beacon attributes. Just 10. I think I've only found 1 or 2 chirp caches in my entire.
Yeah, they're pretty rare.
Yeah.
So
They're even more rare these days than they used to be.
Right.
The GeoBoat attribute challenge, find 50 boat required attributes.
Okay. Yeah.
So snow day challenge, you must have found and logged at least 50 caches that have available during winter. So this requires that the cache owners are up on their attribute game.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. So if you're in an area, we get snow here. So we could say many of our caches should have available during winter if they're, above the snow level, right?
But most people don't think to put that on.
Exactly. We got the snowy day challenge, the extreme hiker challenge. This one is find and log 150 different caches with the significant hike attribute and at least 5 different icons.
I think I want to run that one. Curious if I qualify for that.
I think I want to block that one. Says the wuss of the group.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Okay.
Just finding our way says it's regional. Lots of ours have available during winter.
Okay.
There you go.
The Caledon Attribute Trailway, the CAT, is a 35-kilometer trail. It's an attribute challenge trail in Ontario Northwest or Ontario Northwest? No.
Northwest. Yeah, Ontario Northwest or Toronto.
Sorry, I'm thinking like New South Wales. I'm like, no, that's not a province. I had to run through the provinces in my head.
It's just New Wales.
Oh, New Wales. Yeah.
Yeah, like calves.
No whales here, Captain.
Captain, there'd be whales here.
I qualify for it. There you go.
Of course you do.
I didn't say it.
But there, Project GC is your friend.
Absolutely.
Just that quickly, Land Monkey found out he's done 150 caches with the significant hike attribute.
And was it Project GC that told you that, Land Monkey?
That's northwest of Toronto. Thank you, Red Coaster. I'm brain dead tonight.
That's all right.
I'm brain dead every night.
You didn't test your graphics. That's what it was.
Oh, that's it. I didn't reboot my computer before I logged on. My internal computer. So that's attributes. You guys have chimed in. Do you think we need to maybe not totally wholesale redo attributes, but Are there a few new ones that maybe should be added? Remove ticks and add dangerous insects?
There you go. Maybe include drones, like somebody suggested. I think that's a good idea.
I like the other one. I think it was Wet Coaster. No, who was it? No, it was IAM had it and said, you can have one that can either be positive or negative. That is for brand new cachers.
I think that one's a great idea. Yeah.
And so you can either have it, yes, it's turned on, and so this is a great cache if you're brand new to the game, or you put it to its negative state. If this is, you know what, if you're a new cacher, don't even bother. Of course, new cachers probably don't know about attributes, so they wouldn't be checking it anyway.
They wouldn't go look for them, right? Yeah.
There wasn't a question on your geocaching license exam?
Should be.
Oh, okay.
Oh, license exam. Yeah. No.
No.
So, attributes. Are they any good? Yeah. Yeah, they're really helpful.
I think so.
It's a nice part of geocaching, but it's a responsibility of the cache owner to properly attribute his cache.
Yeah.
Attribute the attributes.
Precisely. Well, yeah, and I think we've had some great feedback from the live audience tonight. You guys have been fantastic with some suggestions of potential new attributes, and also I think the consensus, quite a bit of tongue-in-cheek tonight, as per always, but has been an encouragement for folks to make use of the attributes when you place your cache. You don't have to use all 16 spaces, but just take a look at what you've put out and where you're putting it, and if there's anything that would be important for someone to know before they head out that way, go ahead and add it.
Right. And like all responsible cache owners, maybe periodically go back and check and see if there have been some new attributes come up in the geocaching system that you might want to edit your cache to include or exclude.
There you go. And just before we wrap that up, Gearhead, I think, has a suggestion to your comment about should any of the attributes be changed. He's suggesting maybe field puzzle should be changed to gadget cache.
Oh.
Might be a more helpful specific attribute. That's a good suggestion.
Wet Coaster says attributes are free to put on the listing. Use them all.
That's right. They don't cost the cache owner to list them. So use everything that applies.
You're not charged per attribute.
That's right.
Hey, folks, thanks for taking the time to tune in and listen. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Caching in the Northwest.
We did, and we want to take another moment to thank Landsharks and Gold Country Geotourism, our corporate Denali level sponsors. Landsharks.ca is the outdoor adventure and geocaching store. Check them out online, and remember, they're shipping those orders daily. And for amazing geocaching adventures, know before you go, but check out exploregoldcountry.com. And of course, we want to thank all of our faithful Denali level supporters. That's Landsharks, Gold Country Geotour Team, Squirrel, Groovy Owl, and Cachely, the geocaching app. If you want to know more about supporting this show, click that Patreon link on the cachingnw.com website.
Just like Acrodoc did.
And Kitty Quest.
And Get MacD.
LG 9000.
Camp Clan.
Just finding our way.
Tick Magnet.
Kettle Barb.
The Geo Travelers.
Fairwood West.
The Pendragon.
GSM ×2.
How about Keats 94? He does those geocaching adventures.
I've heard about those. How about Antaeus?
How about Donners, if anyone can find her?
Ooh. Is Donners missing? What about Greenwords? I think we know where she is.
Maybe.
How about Peach of Washington, or tonight, Arkansas?
Peach of Arkansas. She has to change her name quite often.
Yeah.
She travels.
Broncos fan for life.
The GeoNav Pros.
Ari, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That was almost really smooth.
Almost, but I'm old and awkward.
Well, you know what? Might make you feel better if you talks to rocks.
I would.
What about
Usually
T
do.
Sayer?
Or Kid Vegas 19.
Sprouter.
Team Noltex.
Seabeck Tribe.
3 hams and a rose.
How about MC 3 Cats?
On a Boat.
Sege ho.
I lost my spot. Alarobrick.
Just pick anyone. It's okay.
Winos Seattle.
Limax.
Dora Moore.
Genies.
Boomer 365.
Subway Mark.
M-Nerf.
CRS 98.
Wet Coaster.
Logwork.
Hey, having fun in the chat tonight? UDAC.
Trexer Zero.
And our newest patron, Gas Station Tuna. As Land Monkey says, great patron, not so great food item out in the real world there, or something like that.
Not your travel food you want to take with you.
Yeah. Not recommended as a travel food. Highly recommended as a geocaching friend.
There you go.
White Coaster wants to know, does Tick Magnet get paid for every cache that has the Tick attribute?
Ooh.
Good question.
Maybe that's why it's there.
You need a patron named I Lost My Spot.
Yeah, we would call him out every week.
Oh, so funny.
Who's up? Or
Wits
did you
End lost the spot.
Yeah. So I should, according to the list, I should ask our guest, if listeners want to get in contact with you, what's the best way to reach you? No guest, you're up.
I didn't read it. I just saw it was your name. Okay.
This is what
I didn't think it applied tonight, so I was just rolling right past it. But if you want me to read it, I'll read it.
There
Thank
you go,
you.
folks. This is what happens when your hosts work too hard.
Hey, folks, we have not a new segment. We have now just an average everyday
It's like
segment
7 months old now.
Yeah.
We have a segment.
that we call At Last. Listeners asked some things, and now we get to answer. You know, if you want to ask some things, you can call into 253-693-TFTC or email your question to feedback@cachingandw.com. This one is lottery based, right? If you won $1 million, what would you buy first?
A house.
Geocaching.com premium membership.
Well, I'm just thinking that the order that they go in is a house.
Yeah, true.
I would definitely pay off my house first.
Yeah, that was going to say, I would just like to get back to zero.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dug myself through some questionable life choices into a pretty deep hole, and so just coming back up to zero would make me really happy.
There you go.
And then buy a
Definitely
house.
agree. Oh,
And
and then
then
buy
furniture for your house, like a Chesterfield or an ottoman.
UDAC says house.
Yeah.
Komakino says house.
A
Just
K
finding
car.
a way. A new Geomobile.
Yeah,
A
a K car or a nice
Chrysler
Reliant
K-car.
automobile.
You know, Tim, he drives an Aries.
72% of K-car owners have a fixed address.
Booyah.
3 Ham says a massive RV that tows a Jeep. My house is almost paid off.
There
Good for
you go.
And that would buy him another house, but this one
Yeah.
on wheels.
Or a tree fort in our yard.
Oh, yeah. He could retire early.
Maybe a little fridge in the tree fort.
Oh, you're really nice. Ooh, personal geocoin.
Ah, there you go.
I guess the bare naked ladies are only known to Canadians.
Oh,
Thank
yeah,
you,
know,
Trexer.
Chickadee China, the Chinese chicken.
Well, since you asked if you had $1 million, so I was going through in sequence the items that are purchased in the song. And Trexer
Really?
got on.
I missed that. Wow.
That's why it was a house and furniture for your house, like a Chesterfield or an ottoman and
That's a song?
a car. And yeah, it's a song. You know what? You're not my friend anymore.
Wait, that's a real
I'm
thing?
serious. I know the band. I don't know that song, so.
If I had $1 million, it's like their first hit song ever.
Yeah, don't know it. I know the chickadee China, the Chinese chicken, Happy chicken, green size chicken. Watch the X-Files with the lights on. We're down on Maison. See, I know the band.
The Smoking Man's in this one.
Yeah, don't know that song. So, it was really great having you as a friend. I'm sorry it's over.
Anyways.
Find new friends?
There you go. You could
Apparently I need to because Land Monkey has disowned me. Kicked me to the proverbial curb.
Provincial curb too.
Yeah, or the state curb down here. It's getting late, isn't it?
How about Dijon ketchup?
That's right. That fancy Dijon ketchup. They have pre-wrapped sausages, but do they have pre-wrapped bacon?
Bacon, that's meat candy.
Anyways, some good suggestions from the folks. I've been being silly, but I don't know if I had $1 million.
Have you been?
Once in a while.
Okay.
Once in a while tonight. I don't know. I'd probably, buy a Jeep.
New Canadian friend.
But we've always got lots of Daves.
I've wanted a Jeep since I was in junior high school. So yeah, that could easily be on my list.
Yeah.
There you go.
Keith says, I'd buy a nice cottage in Maboo. I wanted to say Malibu.
House, maybe you can buy two.
Right.
Nice.
But I'm poor.
For now.
I've had pre-cooked bacon in a small can. To be avoided if possible. That's like boiled peanuts in a can. Yeah, you don't want to go there.
That's odd. I've never heard of that.
No boiled peanuts? That's a southern thing.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like that the peanuts on budget airlines. You just get one peanut and you lick it and you hand it to the next passenger.
Oh.
And at the end, they're like boiled peanuts.
Yeah.
Ew.
That's kind of how it works.
That's gross.
Naboo? No, that's not where the thing.
Oh yeah, there's
I
always
think Landman can get a private jet to take you places.
Nice. Good thinking, you, Dak.
I think he'd do a helicopter because that's easier to do Earth cache research.
In the helicopter, you could get to more places, or a float plane. But yeah,
personal jetpack.
There you go.
That's what I'm thinking. Hey, folks, thanks for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. You didn't even spend $1 million.
But we have a guarantee.
Look at all the value you've gotten tonight. Your support helps keep the quality shows coming. If you like the show, click the Patreon link on the cashingnw.com website. If you didn't like the show, let us know what you want us to talk about. In either case, subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and more. Subscribe and give us a review. Call into 253-693-TFTC. Leave us a comment, ask a question, or you know what? Help us with the attributes on the page of our cache listings any time of the day or night. You could call that number and say, hey, Land Monkey, you should add this attribute to your cache page. We'll accept that. Of course, you can email us at feedback@cashingnw.com. Or, like Land Monkey says, a normal person would do. Join us every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Pacific for our live show and chat. This show is produced by Chris Umpenauer, Jim Paulwitz, and Jay Kennedy. It's licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license. Copyright 2021 by Chris Umpenauer. And folks, now I want you to stay tuned for that.
So close. It's a rough night, folks.
The after show.
Much better. I was going to say, this show is produced by Chris Umpenauer and Jim Paulwitz and destroyed by Jay Kennedy.
Sometimes that's appropriate.
We've lost our chat lackey tonight.
Yeah, but I can tell you that a new episode of Keats 94's Geocaching Adventures goes live tomorrow at 10 a.m. Shocker. Tomorrow is the voyage to Victoria. BC's capital is quite a gem.
It is. Great place to go and visit the land sharks if you're going to Victoria.
Absolutely go visit them.
Take pictures and show us.
Gearhead says he watches the podcast just to find out if Keats 94 has a new video coming out on Friday.
I can also tell you that, I'm sorry, I jumped the gun there on you. Green Words and Wet Coaster are going to Hope for a couple days next week. We hear there are some multis. maybe hold off for the point thing.
Hmm?
Earth caches, puzzles, traditionals, maybe an adventure lab as well.
There is a really great selection of caches and some fantastic trails up in Hope. It's a very underrated community to visit if you're going geocaching. So I really encourage that. I think that's
I hear
great.
there are a lot of tow trucks up there, though.
There are.
Yeah, I heard that. So.
You've seen some of them.
Maybe not in the summertime, but definitely in the winter.
Definitely in the winter.
I think you were going to share something that I interrupted there.
Me or Chris?
Oh, somebody. I saw a message pop up just as I clicked on that one. So
It's probably Chris.
okay.
I don't know. Everything's covering my face.
We'll blame the chat lackey.
And I do that for you guys. You don't have to look at this all day long. I hope they have a good time. I hope.
See what you did there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, as our chat lackey said last week or the week before, whenever he was here last, and said everybody on the west side of this part of Canada thinks the rest of Canada is beyond hope, and the rest of Canada thinks we are.
Yeah.
UDAC has a FATAS. Is the U.S.-Canadian border opening?
Yes, someday.
Eventually. I saw
2050 is what I heard.
Sorry?
2050, maybe 2051.
Oh, okay. That's like 8:50 p.m. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Okay. I was reading an article recently where, and of course now my news is going to be Canadian bias, and it was
meters.
Sorry,
and in meters.
And in meters, yeah,
meters in centigrade, or Celsius.
But that Canada was looking to open the border at some point during the month of August, probably towards the late part of August. But anybody visiting does have to be double vaccinated. Now, how they're going to verify that? I don't know.
By double vaccinated, you mean had both doses? So
yes,
that's what we're calling fully vaccinated.
Fully vaccinated. Okay. We call it fully vaccinated. Just
clarifying.
Yes, fully vaccinated.
I'm not trying to mock. I just want to make sure that
both of your shots.
Okay.
What if you have the Johnson & Johnson, which is only one?
Then I think that also qualifies as fully vaccinated, but rumor has it you should also be aware of blood clots. But that's strictly a rumor. I am not making any statements against the company.
No. You're not a doctor, but you play one on a podcast?
Yeah, I don't even play one well.
You have before.
Not currently.
Doc Brown.
Not tonight.
That's right.
So Jim says the border is going to open, but I heard a rumor there might be a strike by border agents because they've been working so hard right now.
Well, yes. They have.
They probably have.
That was a little cheeky, but yeah.
Yeah, it was. Sorry.
Well, if you're going to go on strike, you don't want to do it when it doesn't affect anybody. It's more effective when it affects people. So
the American border is still closed, though.
Well, this is what I was saying, that
don't they both have to agree?
That was what I thought. And when I read the story, it was basically the Canadian government was saying, well, this is the date we're planning to be able to open the border to Americans. But then what I also heard was that the U.S. has not announced any plans to open their borders to visitors. So
that jives with what I heard too. I don't remember the details, but that resonates with exactly what I heard.
Yeah. So I guess, I don't know. Your mileage may vary. You can come to Canada, but you can't go home.
I'm still saying that we need to plan another Caching in the Northwest event at the Land Shark store near Christmas, because it worked really well the last time we did that.
All right.
And by this Christmas, things might be open again and ready to do that.
All right. Let's talk to the Land Sharks.
We have to have 12 people named Chris there in order
apparently that's not a problem, because that
I
just
bet they can arrange it.
Yeah. Tonight, though, there are a lot of gyms, so maybe we need to have an abundance of gyms at this next event.
Yeah.
Maybe the next event should be the gym burrito.
Is that what you call a large group of gyms, an abundance?
An abundance? It is tonight, because nothing else. This entire show seems to have gone off the rails from the first time we hit the go button. So why not? Yes. Let's say yes.
I did love the fact that shortly after Chris hit the go button, even though nobody could see anything, he still made a comment about me being distracting right from the very beginning.
Yes. Note whose voice was heard before the cameras went live. Just saying. He's going to end this.
Komakino says a group of gyms is a gymboree.
Oh, sold. Done. I love it. Thank you.
That's awesome.
And we probably should wrap the show up before Chris just hits the end show button without warning. Because his finger's poised, I can tell.
Push that button.
Push what button?
IHAM came up with the same thing.
Oh, yeah. And Komakino's taking a bow for that.
Well
Folks,
played, gentlemen.
Thank you for joining us tonight. Even though we talked about some things, but boy, did we talk about a lot of other things that we maybe shouldn't have. And I love the Border Patrol. Let me just say that as I close. And until next week, go shake the hands of a Border Patrol agent and get caching in the Northwest.